There's one other thing that I just want to briefly touch on. Given your training and experience in conducting homicide investigations, do you consider motive when investigating?
Yes.
Do you always find motive?
No, we don't always find motive. We like to know what the motive is, but we don't necessarily find the motive because some people just kill for fun, and it's then you never know what the motive is. You don't know what's going on in their mind, and some people just consider it a challenge. So, quite frankly, the motive would be that they just have fun doing it, and it's hard to prove that. And so sometimes we don't end up with a motive.
In this case, did you find a motive as to why the defendant murdered Robert, Bill, Lois, and Adam?
No.
Despite that, were you still confident that you had found the suspect?
Absolutely.
Mr. Nearing, he's saying he thinks this defendant was killing those people for sport, basically. That is chilling for, I'm sure people, maybe jurors are like, whoa, that guy doesn't have any leg irons and he's in the same room. It reframes it, does it not, into this, well, there's no motive, he's a doctor, to now this wow scenario. Your thoughts?
I thought that was actually kind of a brilliant answer because it ties so well into the prosecution's theory of the case, and it really ties in with what their evidence is. Whoever committed this crime showed up to this crime scene wearing hunting clothes. And hunting in general in North Dakota is something that is so beloved. It's considered a fun sport. It's something that would really resonate well with the North Dakota jury. So I actually thought the way the prosecution kind of lined up that question and having somebody with that kind of experience have that be their opinion and communicated to the jury, I thought it really tied in really well.
What are you expecting from we know the defense had a very long opening statement, and the gist of it was, look closely at all of these bits and pieces, and you'll see that they don't connect at the end of the day. But now these bits and pieces from an observer's standpoint, where you've got the rust on the car or the truck, there's a match on the truck, and now all of the things found inside of his home, including a knife with a bent edge, in his washing machine. Where does this go? If you're representing this defendant, would you be a little nervous at this point in trial? Your thoughts?
The moment that I'm waiting from, at least for the defense's case, is the question of whether or not he's going to actually testify himself. Because this is one of those cases where there are so many little tiny pieces of circumstantial evidence that he's the only person who could provide certain answers. So, for example, why would anyone put a knife into a washing machine? Why would you put these gun parts in the freezer? What was up with this particular clothing at this type of year? What's really interesting about the finding of what they found so far, and in particular, the finding of the reversible mask. You have law enforcement that's basically saying that you have a suspect that showed up with an orange face mask, went to the next building across the street, and then walked over to McDonald's where you saw the employee reporting a camouflage mask. And then ironically, 4 or 5 days later, you end up finding a reversible hunting face mask in the defendant's washing machine. And so he's the only one who can really provide those explanations. But of course, putting him on the stand comes with risk because he's then subject to cross-examination. But there's certain key pieces that do not make sense if you don't put him on the stand. So that, for me, is the moment that I'm waiting for. I want to see if he gets on the stand and offers an explanation.
Yeah, it would be fascinating to see. The other thing is we are starting to notice him getting a bit agitated. Yesterday it started where he was pointing and shaking his head, a little bit today as well. He made a quick move to go get his water. You could feel the tension starting to build at that table, and he's at the end of that table. Will he get up there and try to save himself with some explanation? We'll have to wait and see. He's a smart person. He's a chiropractor. No trouble with the law before this. Does he take the stand? A big question. We'll be watching that. We're going to slip in another break before the jury gets back there on the mid-morning break. We're expecting them back in just a few minutes. We'll get you back into the courtroom for live testimony when it resumes. Stay with us.